Just days after the FCC's net neutrality repeal was enacted, which was on Monday, CNN is reporting that AT&T's buyout of Time Warner, which owns CNN, has been approved by a judge. And we're descending even further into what I'm calling media consolidation dystopia. And I first reported to you, who knows when? I mean, late 2016, that AT&T made a deal to buy Time Warner for $85 billion. Some people are calling it a merger. It's really a buyout, but effectively it is the coming together of these two companies. I think it's okay to call it a merger, even though legally speaking, that's not what it is. I told you that this deal would be a disaster for consumers, okay? It would be bad for competition. It would raise prices. It would reduce choice. And I told you at the time that there should be legal challenges to that merger or buyout. And there were, including from the Trump administration, although possibly for personally vindictive reasons rather than questions of antitrust. But a judge yesterday has ruled in favor of the buyout. AT&T now says they're going to close the deal out by June 20th. This is days away. The judge even said, don't bother with appeals because appeals would be unjust in this particular case. And we know that Donald Trump has been at least sort of nominally opposed to the buyout, but it's mostly because the guy doesn't like CNN and Time Warner is owned by CNN. But nevertheless, it's happening. Despite Trump's wishes, despite my wishes and a lot of other people's wishes, this is going to happen. And content that is produced by Netflix and Amazon, which for all the criticisms that we can have about Netflix and Amazon were causing cord cutting, people canceling cable, right? That was putting some competitive pressure on the big cable providers. Netflix and Amazon are now going to be potentially hurt by this buyout. AT&T could, if they wanted, give their own content, right, like Time Warner content, soon to be, priority, and then charge more to Netflix or to Netflix users to use their bandwidth. You want to pay more for Netflix, or do you want to watch Time Warner content? And lots of people will say, I'm already getting gouged by AT&T. I'm not going to pay even more to be able to watch Netflix content without constant rebuffering. I don't know. You could say, I'll cancel my cable and just buy internet from AT&T. Well, then your internet becomes much more expensive because you no longer have a bundled package, and it's still Netflix.com that could be slowed down or deprioritized. So good luck with that. And we have in the last, I guess, 72 hours, the enaction of the net neutrality repeal and even more media consolidation. Consumers are going to have a very bad time. And I wonder, and I'm not asking this rhetorically, I genuinely wonder, what is CNN's coverage of net neutrality going to look like after this buyout? Then I remembered, oh, right, they barely covered it to begin with. So I guess that's not going to change much. We're still not going to hear a damn thing about net neutrality from CNN or Time Warner or AT&T. And this is only going to continue. This is a signal. If you are Comcast, which is potentially going to be buying part of Fox, or Disney, which also wants to buy part of Fox or is trying to already, if you see this decision from the judge and you see the direction that this is going, it's a green light for even further consolidation. And we've been tracking and participating in the rise of independent media for years, right? We are an independent media program. We've been covering independent media. And there are two forces which could completely decimate our industry. It's not even really an industry, it's more of a niche. Number one, getting rid of net neutrality just happened, right? Decided months ago, enacted on Monday, and more media consolidation happening and more is coming. And if you want just like a little hint as to how the future of these mega mergers is going to go, look at the fact that the judge in this case imposed no additional conditions on AT&T buying Time Warner. The judge just said, sounds good to me, and don't even bother appealing. So this is, I don't know what else to call it than a red alert dystopia.
Yeah, it's really bad. And maybe AT&T and Time Warner don't have a monopoly on the industry, but telecommunications is so big of an industry and impacts so many people in so many different ways. You may get your news through it, you may connect with people on it, you may get entertained by it. And so it's really upsetting that, fewer and fewer voices are going to be heard from all of us. I think, Comcast owns, NBC, and then Viacom and CBS maybe getting together too. I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a lot more of this.
It is the exact sort of cautionary tale that for about 25 years, really, I mean, at least 22 years since the 1996 Telecommunications Act, but really 25 or even 30 years, media, serious media analysts and academics have been warning about, and it's happening. Your media will become more expensive. You will have to work harder to find alternative media. The distributors of media, as Pat is pointing out, are increasingly going to be the producers of media as well. And if you're hoping that now I get to Pat's silver linings that people sometimes hear, or me telling you what to do to fix this, I don't know, right? I mean, I'd say contact your representatives, except they're mostly okay with this stuff. Democrats did vote for net neutrality, but really all of them complicit in the status quo that's being perpetuated. Vote them out then, right? I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's a call to action to support the shows that you like, the specific websites you like, and maybe supporting independent media shows like ours.
Very nice. I like that, Pat. Pat's now getting in on the indirect references to membership and Patreon. But seriously, I actually don't have good news. I like to try to wrap up the story with some at least cautiously optimistic something, and I don't have it because it's really, really getting bad. The video you just finished watching was made possible by you through the membership program. You can sign up for membership at davidpakman.com/membership. We are viewer-supported independent media. You can use the coupon code IVOTED17 for a 40% discount off of your membership.